about the listing war and the data war, right? The listing war, our listings are posted up on Zillow and Realtor.com and Homes.com, and they're sold to other agents. The leads are sold to other agents. And we're going to talk about why that battle is a battle that we've lost, right? But we're going to talk about why the data war is a battle that we are winning and can win. So we're going to talk about how that's where we're going to be needing to focus our attention. We're also going to talk about personalizing the experience and why the consumer loves to have an experience searching for homes that feels more like a one-to-one, like they're the only one in the entire world looking for a house, and how our sites can help do that, make them feel like it's just personalized to them and nobody else. Also, following up with smart plans, very, very difficult to do. Lots of agents don't know what to say. They don't know how to create a cadence of text, email, phone calls, tasks, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to dive in to some tricks and tips on how you guys can get better at doing that. Also, on-demand information, right? An agent, a consumer doesn't want necessarily an on-demand agent. They want info. And if you're not giving them the info that they need, that's when they're going to be calling you at all hours of the night, because they're going to be freaking out when they lay down to go to sleep. And they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't ask my agent how this aspect of my deal is going. So we're going to talk about how you can keep your consumer in the loop so you reduce those late night freakouts and talking them off of ledges. The one-to-one experience, we're going to talk about how our sites and apps are doing that for our consumers, how we're creating a more immersive one-to-one experience like a Netflix or an Amazon. We're going to talk about pivoting your technology and the benefits of using a brokerage created tech from the ground up, and the different things that KW is doing and can do to quickly adapt the tech to any new environment that the world might be entering into. We're also going to talk about collections on your apps and on your site, and how you guys can interact with your consumer on a very personal level, and how they can bring their friends, family, mom, dad, sister, brother, stepdaughter, cat, dog, goldfish, whoever they want, into our consumer experience and collaborate with them, with you right in the center of all of it. So I hope you enjoy commanding your consumer experience. I think you're going to find this very beneficial, with a lot of value, and I hope it brings you some clarity around why we are doing what they're doing. And we will see you right after this video in our very first lecture. Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Nick Baldwin here, Regional Technology Director for the Michigan and Northern Ohio.
Sorry. If you guys have questions, you could put them in the chat box and I'll stop the video and answer. Okay. Oh, what does it say? Okay. Okay, so we watched this one.
Hey everyone.
This is my first time doing this, so bear with me. Okay, here we go.
Hey everyone, welcome to the very first lecture in Command Your Consumer Experience. In this lecture, we're going to talk about a company called General Magic. General Magic was a company that was way ahead of its time in the late 80s, early 90s, and I'm going to dig right in and I'm going to explain a little bit more about what that is and why and how it relates to what we're doing at KW as a company. So let's dig right in. All right, we're kicking off Command Your Consumer Experience, and let's go. All right, General Magic. General Magic was a company, it was an offshoot of Apple, and some of the smartest people in technology still today worked for this company. You had the founder and CEO of LinkedIn. You had the director of technology for the Obama administration. You had the founder and CEO of Safari browser. You had people like the co-founder of Nest, who initially sold Nest to Google for $3.2 billion. So you had people who became some of the most innovative technologists in the entire world working at General Magic. And General Magic was way ahead of its time. In the late 80s, early 90s, General Magic had an idea for a little device that you would hold in the palm of your hand, and you'd be able to touch the screen and send messages back and forth between people. That device right now is this. It's the iPhone or the iPad, right? Eventually, Apple became the one to release it when the time was right, but the consumer wasn't ready at this moment in time. And now, as consumers, they are ready, and the real estate agent isn't. So the consumer is much further ahead than we are, when back then we were much further ahead than they were. So when I have agents say to me, Nick, my clients are too old to use tech, that's when I say, well, my grandmother just turned 101 last month in June, and I Zoomed her for her birthday party. So don't discount the age of your clients associated with their ability to use technology. What I want to do is I want to show you this very quick 2.5-minute trailer for General Magic. And after you watch this, I highly recommend that you go and watch the entire movie. But this trailer will show you why it's so important what KW is doing right now as a company in terms of building our own technology.
In 1990, there was no digital telecommunications industry. It did not exist. There were no digital cell phones. There was no World Wide Web. We're going to create what comes after the personal computer.
It was telephone. It was essentially going to be a smartphone with a lot of intelligence. When we were talking about reinventing telephony, we meant it.
We're trying to make something that people love. We need it to be like your watch, your glasses, your wallet.
We decided to make everything. That meant we were custom building every piece. It's insane.
How small will it finally be?
Like someday, the Tracy wristwatch.
This was the beginning of what became, I think, the most important company to come out of Silicon Valley that nobody's ever heard of.
There was this aura of secrecy. You know, it had Apple's fairy dust sprinkled on it. But we had no idea what it was. But by the rumors, it seemed just captivating.
We had no choice but to keep quiet about the things we were doing because other companies were interested in it as well.
Now, it should be noted, John Sculley was running Apple at the time.
He was our ally, or so we thought.
Today, we are launching Newton, a revolution for the pocket.
They had decided to make something essentially based on our original models.
It's the most important thing that I've ever been involved with in my entire life.
It's bad enough you get betrayed by them, but now they're going to try to put you out of business.
That was fighting. That was battle. I mean, here's a test. What if General Magic never happened? Would we have had Android?
Not a chance. I mean, all these things were linked together, one after another. So much of what came out of General Magic is the foundation of everything we take for granted today.
So the question is, can we take these powerful tools and do something that really does help a lot of people?
The reason you should care about the story of General Magic is because it involves something fundamental, and that is failure isn't the end. Failure is actually the beginning.
Okay, guys, I love this quote. Failure isn't the end, failure is the beginning, by CEO General Magic, Mark Porat. And you'll notice they were building every piece of that tech from the ground up. Does that sound familiar? That's what Keller Williams is doing. Every bit of tech they had to build from the ground up. None of it was there. None of it had been created. Now, a lot of this stuff has been created now, but building your technology from the ground up makes it proprietary. No one else has access to it. It is one of a kind. And I feel that General Magic was ahead of its time. And just like Keller Williams is ahead of its time, the first real brokerage to essentially create their own technology for their agents to give us the upper hand in the industry. So I hope you enjoyed that module. We'll see you at the next one in just a few minutes. Hey everyone, welcome. Okay, everyone, welcome to the next lecture. We're going to talk here about 2019 home buyers and sellers and what your clients are doing, how they're searching, et cetera, et cetera. Also, we're going to talk about some pain points that your buyers may be going through, through different transactions, and how over time we can reduce those certain pain points, right? So let's talk about some NAR stats from the 2019 profile of home buyers and sellers. Now, these are some really great statistics to help you understand your clients much better, right? 33% of recent home buyers were first-time buyers. The typical home buyer was 47 years old. And this is an amazing stat. 89% of buyers recently purchased their home through an agent or broker, and that's the highest percentage it's ever been in the history of real estate agents. So while companies like Zillow and all the other disruptors are pouring billions and billions of dollars to kind of move us aside, the consumer is using us more than ever before. So huge, amazing news. And 29% of buyers said the primary reason they wanted to buy a home was just because they wanted to buy a home. No real huge reason, just for the sheer fact of wanting to be a homeowner. So I think that that's actually pretty wonderful. Home sellers, the typical home seller was 57 years old. Again, 89% of sellers, they worked with a real estate agent. 34% of sellers offered some sort of incentive to attract buyers, right? And so we're lucky at KW that we have Keller Mortgage, which will offer an instant
We don't
incentive,
have that in New York,
right?
guys.
So when you list a property
Coming, but not yet.
on our app and on our website, it'll tell you on that listing how much money you could potentially save by using Keller Mortgage. So once you find out that information, I would highly recommend advertising that in the MLS. And for recently sold homes, the final sales price was a meeting of 99% of the final listing price. So that means 89% of sellers are using agents, and we are selling their home for top dollar. So lots of amazing information here to share while at a listing consult. Maybe you're prospecting expireds or you're prospecting for sale by owners. Lots of great information here that you might want to share with them. Now let's talk about people who were working with realtors. Let's start with buyers first. So 52%, they wanted their buyers to help find the right home, right? So when they hire a buyer agent, they definitely want your insight and your expertise into helping them find the house that's right for them. 41% of buyers use an agent that was referred to them by a friend or neighbor or relative, and that is huge, right? Like I know most agents, their business thrives on referrals, and that's a really great piece of information to know there because it'll tell you that you got to keep in touch with your database. 90% of buyers would actually use their agent again or recommend to others. So you got to stay front and center because there's a stat, I can't recall the exact number, but it's much lower than 90% that actually do. And that's because the agent doesn't do a good job of staying in touch. And when we get into smart plans later, I'll show you a very easy way with 4 smart plans that will allow you to keep in touch 28 to 32 times a year just with smart plans. Now sellers, 75%, only contacted or met with one agent before they decided to list their home with that person. And 66% of sellers found their agent through a referral, friend, family member. So more home sellers are getting referrals than buyers, but still a very good percentage there in our favor. And 70% said they would recommend their agent for future services if they wanted to sell their home again. So again, another important reason to stay in front of your database. Finding a home, the first step. 44% of recent home buyers took the process online. So they start their process online. So it's very important to have your sites and your apps set up and get it in the hands of as many people as possible. 87% of recent buyers found their real estate agent to be an extremely useful information source, which is great. You have to know about the local market, right? And so what's awesome about our sites that we'll get into later is the very hyper-local neighborhood-specific data. And that's going to, because it's on your site, make you look even smarter than you might be based on certain neighborhoods, right? So it's important to know what's going on, not just like housing values and so on and so forth, but what's in the local neighborhood, what people think about the neighborhood, and all that stuff's on your site. And we're going to get into that in a little while. Buyers typically search for homes for 10 weeks, and they looked at a median of 9 homes. So the searching in terms of online, about 2.5 months, and then they actually went out and only looked at 9 on average until they decided to make a purchase. 50% of non-owners believe it would be at least.
I was just going to ask, are you guys finding that buyers are buying quickly in this market right now? Yeah, Peter says yes. Yeah, I would think at this point in time, we're in a unique situation that people can't wait because there's not much on the market.
It's somewhat difficult to become a homeowner based on their current financial situation, which is a very huge number. And that's when we start talking about Keller Mortgage and how much Keller Mortgage can save them and so on and so forth. That it might make it easier for them. 78% of non-owners believe that homeownership is a good financial decision. So great. They're very, very passionate about it and they believe in it. So we love that. And non-owners believe that homeownership is a part of the American dream. 75% of those people believe that owning a home will definitely make them feel like they are achieving something greater than themselves. So I love to hear that stuff. Now here's some cool infographics that could come in handy for you when you're talking to potential buyers and sellers, right? So a lot of great information here. 33% were first-time buyers, 24% had student debt, 93,000 was the average household income, 12% down payment is the average down payment. We could help them increase that with getting money back through Keller Mortgage. On the seller side, what I found really interesting is that most sellers move within 20 miles of the home that they're selling, right? They live there for about 10 years and they have about 60,000 in equity in it. And about 44% of them are actually trading up to a larger home. So lots of great information to have there at your fingertips. Now let's talk about a few buyer pain points, right? Buyers hate this, right? And this is some stuff that I discovered from researching and also things that over my 14 years of selling hundreds of homes, things that I've, discovered and feedback that I've gotten from people. They don't like getting placed on irrelevant drip campaigns, right? Like, don't just set your clients up on pointless campaigns that don't mean anything to them. Make sure that it's curated. Make sure that it's, it feels as personal as possible. We'll get more into that later with smart plans. They get overwhelmed by sorting through lots of different listings, and so we can help them narrow that down with our neighborhood searches, right? They don't have enough for a down payment. There's not enough communication between the agent, and they feel confused about the process. With our buyer and seller guides, you guys can easily create a buyer guide that is curated to how you do business and also relieves some stress and brings more clarity to your clients around how the process of the transaction goes. A lot of times people feel that the experience is very agent-centric, and that's usually from searching online. They come across an agent website, and the agent site has lots of, accolades for the agent and how many homes they've sold. Buyers and sellers don't typically care about that stuff. All they care about is how you're going to do the best job for them, right? They also feel that there's not enough information being shared. And again, that comes from a lack of communication and just confusion. So when we get more into buyer and seller guides, we're going to talk more about how you can create an experience that gives them on-demand information and helps them sleep better at night, knowing that they know where they are in the process and what comes next. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this lecture. And we'll see you at the next one. Thanks for staying with us.
Okay. Anybody have comments they want to discuss after that one? No? Okay. It's pretty straightforward, but good information to know.
Okay, what's up, guys? I'm back. You're still with us. I'm super happy to see you. Okay, this next lecture is going to talk about our agent sites, right? Like, why do they look the way they look? I remember when our agent sites rolled out, people were like, oh, where am I going to put all my fancy awards and all the homes I've sold and the billions of dollars in real estate and all the reviews of how awesome people think I am? And nothing like that is on the homepage. Okay, the reason why is because the consumer doesn't care. Okay, if you're going to thank Zillow for something, you thank them for spending billions of dollars to figure out how consumers want to look at homes. So let's dig into why our sites look the way they do. All right. Here's the big Z, guys, Zillow. Let's look at this page, okay? We've got the logo. We have a photo behind it with a search bar that tells them simply what to do. We scroll down, it's got some information down here. Not much going on the homepage. Very, very basic. Let's switch over to homes.com. Whoops, I don't know why my little face bubble just jumped in the middle of the screen. All right, same kind of thing. Look at how their website looks. You got a photo behind it. Start your search by location. You scroll down, you've got just listed homes, very similar to Zillow. All right, now we are on realtor.com. Again, very, very easy to navigate. Simple photo behind, photo behind here. Let's find the perfect home with a search bar. You scroll down, you've got listings that are, for sale locally. And then we go to Trulia. Again, almost the identical look, right? Logo over here, image behind with a search bar, scroll down, buy, rent, see neighborhoods, different neighborhoods to look at, et cetera, et cetera. Keller Williams. Notice a trend? It looks exactly the same. We have a photo, much bigger photo, find your dream home with a search bar, scroll down. Neighborhoods you might like that are specific to where you're actually located. We've got homes you might like. We've got find an agent. It's very, very simple. A lot of the same features. We'll go to an individual agent site. Oh, it's the same, right? Nice big photo behind you that's rotating with different pictures. Find your dream home. Search for a neighborhood, address, school district, zip code. Scroll down. Featured listings, right? Are you seeing a trend? Let's start over. Zillow, homes.com, realtor.com, Trulia, kellerwilliams.com, and my personal agent site. I also want to show you something that a lot of agents don't realize. If your client is on kw.com and they already have an account on your individual agent site and they click log in and then they log into kw.com, what happens is now kw.com is your agent site. It's branded to you. It has all of their saved searches. It has their guide. It has their feed. So even when they log in to kw.com, it's still branded to you. It's as if Zillow was only branded to you, their one agent. Okay, now let's dig into what our websites are doing, right? Since we've transitioned over. Your KW sites look like this for a reason, okay? The speed of our sites from our previous sites are up 24%. Engagement's up 10%. Traffic's up 25 times. Time on site is up almost 8.5 minutes. And guys, that's a huge, huge, huge boost, right? Like 8.5 minutes might not seem like a long time, but in the world of internets and all the dings and bells and notifications, it's an enormous amount of time for a client to be looking on a website. And KW did studies. They studied that when a client is able to look on a neighborhood level, which we'll get into later, they're going to spend much more time on a site, up over 30 minutes, just looking at different neighborhoods. So our websites look like this for a reason, guys. Now, you can customize the inner pages, right? But why reinvent the wheel? The consumer wants to search a certain way, and that's why our KW sites have been designed the way the consumer wants to search. So I hope that clarifies and clears up some reasons as to why our sites look the way they do. We'll see you at the next lecture.
Any comments or questions? I mean, I thought that was interesting to know, why does it look like that?
Are we
What?
able to add a blog at this point? Can we customize?
Yeah, I had a class on that. We had a blog, yep.
Right now?
I had a whole class on, I can send you the video for that.
Okay.
It's easy to do.
Hey everybody, how you doing? You are still here. I'm happy to see you. Now we're going to talk about the data war. Data war is the new war, the new battle in the real estate industry. We have moved on from the listing war. So here's the thing. Agents, they're up in arms. They've been up in arms for a long time. Zillow taking their listings and generating leads from those listings and selling those leads to other agents who don't have those listings, necessarily. So that war is over. That battle is done. Zillow has won. Nothing we can do about it. However, we still do have data. There is lots of data out there that Zillow does not have. And as KW, we have it. And so whoever has the most data will offer the best and most immersive consumer experience. Therefore, the consumer will flock to that platform. So let's dive right in and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, so here we go, guys. Yeah, as I mentioned before, let me move my little face bubble. I don't know why it's giving me that problem. Here we go. We are no longer in a listing battle. We're in a data war, and whoever has the data will win. And so this is basically the war. It's basically Zillow versus Keller Williams, Nextdoor, Smarter Agent Mobile, and Google, right? It's 1 against 4, 4 against 1. So KW, lots of data on consumer activity. Nextdoor, you may be familiar, is a consumer social media app. Think Facebook groups, but specific to actual neighborhoods based on where people live, right? Not, anyone can join some township group on Facebook. You have to actually live within the confines of a specific outlined neighborhood in order to join. So that data is very accurate. Smarter Agent Mobile is a technology company that creates branded real estate mobile apps for businesses and for individual agents. And they're a company that KW acquired last year. So now we have instant access to 800 or so MLSs across the country and data from lots of different brokerages that are also still using Smarter Agent. And that's what powers our IDX feed. And Google, of course, Google Maps, Google Earth. Google is the preferred map on our websites and on our agent apps, our consumer apps. Zillow and Realtor use Apple Maps. So because of Google, we get a lot more opportunity for the consumer to dig deeper into finding a home. So let's talk about, in addition to those, the three things that home buyers want. And this is very important because this plays a big role into how we're improving our consumer experience with all those 4 data aggregators working in our favor, right? So convenience. Home buyers love convenience. They love to be able to search for homes 24/7, 365. They like to manage the home search on their own. Autonomy. Home buyers love, like I said, they like to do it on their own. They like to be able to search when they can. They expect a wide range of information and functionality from their mobile experiences. The average home buyer spends about 14 hours a week on social, and 65% of home buyers have said that they are directly influenced by online friends who post about buying houses. Now, these pieces of information come directly from Facebook, right? Also, personalization, right? So let's talk about when you have a personalized experience, a one-to-one experience like Netflix or Amazon or Facebook, you're more inclined to keep searching because you feel like you're the only one in the world who's getting this experience. Whereas Zillow, not a one-to-one, it's a one-to-many. Everyone gets the same experience. So as people curate what they see, artificial intelligence will show them more of what it thinks that they like. And so Facebook did a study and found that 51% of US digital device users say they're more likely to make a purchase when they've received personalized content, right? So I just wanted you guys to be aware of these 3 things, because in the next lecture, we are going to talk specifically about how our technology is personalizing the home buying experience to make the consumer more inclined to make a purchase when they feel like the things that they are seeing are things that they actually want to see and not, a one-to-many experience. So we'll see you in the next lecture. We'll talk more about how we are curating that personalization for our consumers.
So just so you guys know, we'll go through half of this today and we'll complete the second half next week. It's just too long to get through, just so you guys are aware. So we're like 36%, we'll go up to 50 for today. We should be done by 2 o'clock.
Hey everyone, how you doing? All right, in the last lecture I talked about how 51% of consumers surveyed by Facebook said that they're more inclined to make a purchase if they feel that the home buying, home searching experience is personalized to them. So let's jump right in and talk about how KW is doing that and making it much easier for the agent to create a more streamlined, personalized search for their consumer. So let's jump right in, guys. Here we go. All right. How is KW personalizing the search? I'm so glad you asked. All right. The consumer experience, guys. This is what we're talking about. Our mobile apps, our sites, all of the cool features that are within the mobile apps and the sites. So let's just dig right in instead of beating around the bush. So here we go. Now, if you're a heavy Facebook lead generator like me, the consumer experience really does start with the Facebook ad. And what Command has allowed agents to do is it's allowed agents who weren't heavy Facebook lead generators to become Facebook lead generators much more easily, right? So the consumer experience definitely starts with the ad, right? So let's take a look at these 3 ads that I've run in the past that were very successful for us, right? So over here on the left-hand side, Superior Homes Group, this was an ad that we ran based on a neighborhood, right? And I'll show you what neighborhoods look like later. But looking for a home in Clarkston, the Goodrich neighborhood may be great for you. It's got top-rated schools and it's close to shops and restaurants. Click Learn More to explore, okay? So what we're talking about here is a different experience. We're talking about a neighborhood. We're not talking about a house, right? We're talking about a neighborhood. We're talking about clicking more to explore. The call to action is very specific and it's mysterious and it's interesting, right? Ooh, I'm going to explore something on the internet, a town. I've never done that before. And then the images that we used, I got from designs that are showing what locals are saying about these particular neighborhoods, right? So let's look in the middle. Nick Baldwin, new homes for sale. The Keller Williams app is here and it offers a search experience like no other. Search by neighborhood, school district, and more while collaborating inside the app with friends and following the home buying guide all the way to close. Download today. Again, a different type of verbiage. This is advertising our app. The images are showing what to expect with inside the app. And the call to action is very, very direct. Download, right? Download today. Let's look over here on the right-hand side, the Keller Williams app, which is a page I created to promote my app. Lake Orion is a sought-after neighborhood with lots to offer. Take a peek and see the data that Zillow doesn't offer. Like what locals say, student-teacher ratios, and search by neighborhood. Real estate's more than just a zip code. So what Zillow doesn't offer, very strong words, guys. Whenever we run ads that say something that about Zillow not offering it, people love it. So we ran these ads and we got 13 people to download our app. And guys, that might not seem like a lot. 13 people to download an app they knew nothing about instead of Zillow, that is a big win for us. So any of these ads have worked for us and they should work for you. And by all means, duplicate these and do whatever you want with them, because the way that these were created definitely works. Now, I want to explain to you that the Keller Williams app, these images, these are screenshots from my website. These are not in design, so the screenshots from my website. And then in the middle here, these are in designs and these are in designs, okay? So just wanted to let you guys know that. These are ads that have definitely worked for us in the past. Now we're just talking about, a list of homes. Stop looking on Zillow. Their data is not updated in real time. It could cost you your dream home. Oh no, fear of missing out. We don't want to lose our dream home. See all the newest homes for sale. Update every 15 minutes. This is just a luxury home that we advertised with beautiful photos. And over here, we're setting the stage for, we're getting people excited about living on a lake, right? It's time to buy a boat. Buy this house first. 4,700 square feet of living space, 120 feet of lakefront. So here's the results from the ad spend. We spent $25 on the one all the way to the left. We spent $70 on the one in the middle and $25 on the one all the way to the right. So those definitely work. These are ads that work now, guys, okay, now. And the reason why I say they work now is because the age of COVID, which is going to be going on for a very long time, these ads are imperative to keep running, right? Ads that work now. In this current climate, it's difficult to see homes in person. We have you covered. Go on a video tour of this beautiful Celebration Florida home without leaving your couch. Click Learn More to explore for digital access, right? So this is offering this is a great consumer experience. This is offering a landing page with a agent-led tour, okay, or a Matterport tour. In the middle, again, another agent-led tour, 3D tour, Matterport, video, doesn't matter. The one here on the right-hand side, Easy Sales Team, again, another one advertising a 3D tour or an agent-led tour on a landing page. I want to tell you the results. This one over here on the left-hand side, $25, 18 leads, 3 qualified buyers at around 1.3 million in volume. The middle one, 18 leads. And then over here on the right-hand side, I think they got about 50 or 60 leads and 6 or 7 really strong nurtures, people that want to buy within the next 6 months. Now, I am going to post a video. There's another video in this lecture, a bonus video that shows you how to create a landing page like this. So please take a look at that as well so you can see what specifically goes into creating an ad like this where you're displaying a landing page and a 3D tour with your Facebook ad. Neighborhoods are a big part of our website. As I told you before, we partnered with Nextdoor. And so when a client or a consumer logs into your website, this is how the map is going to look, right? Obviously, it's a normal map, but they see the different neighborhoods placed over the map that they're used to seeing. So that is a different look and a different experience. Then we have a landmark search, and landmark searches are great. I mentioned earlier with our partnership with Google, we're able to look up specific landmarks and see different homes that are around that landmark. So let's jump into the website so I can show you guys both of these features at a higher level. All right, so I'm going to jump right in. I've got my website open. And I am looking here in Southern California. I believe I'm in the Hollywood area. And wow, look at those houses. Who wouldn't want to live or sell in that neighborhood, right? So, trying to move my little bubble face around. It keeps doing some funky things. Let me put it over here. There we go. So here's how a map would look to someone who just jumps onto your website or app. And then we've got this neighborhood here, Beechwood Canyon. So let's explore that neighborhood and see what that looks like. All right. Jumping right in here. Let Beechwood Canyon load up. All right, here we go. So you've got a lot of great data. You've got 22 homes for sale, 9 pending, gives you the average home price. It tells you the walkability, whether or not it's car dependent. Let's scroll down here. We can see market snapshots. We can also see more information on days on market and average home price, square footage, things like that. You scroll down, we see what locals are saying. This is really great information, and we've partnered with Nextdoor and a couple other data aggregators to pull this for you. Everything is fair housing compliant. It lets you know what people in the area like to do. And then we've got the ability to search for a place, right? So if someone's logged into your website, I am not currently logged in, but if someone's logged in and they add a place, that place will stay there no matter what neighborhood or property they look at. Now, if someone's not logged in and they click search for a place, they will be prompted to log in. So let's log in and see what happens. Now, I'm not familiar with the Southern California area, so I'm just going to kind of search for like a Starbucks or something along those lines. So let's let this load up here. All right, so I've logged in. Let me scroll down. And I do have some. See, it saved a place from the last time I was looking. But let's type in like Starbucks, right? So it'll bring us Starbucks, Hollywood, CA. Maybe this will work. Let's see. Okay, so it's a 6-minute drive to a Starbucks, see? And you can add 3 different places. And those places will stay there as long as you're logged into the site. And then we've got schools with student-teacher ratio, lots of other schools to look at. We have public and private. And then down here, you've got places with our Yelp integration. So people can see everything that's around them and the different ratings. Then down here, we have homes for sale. In and around that neighborhood. It lets you know what's pending. So this 106 homes for sale also takes into account the pending. And then you have other nearby neighborhoods. And when you click on these other neighborhoods, it then brings them to those specific neighborhoods. So this is kind of like, that Netflix experience where it's recommending other neighborhoods that are similar in price point and in the same location. All right. So now what I'm going to show you guys is I'm going to show you how to search for a landmark. Okay, so let's do that. So because I'm in Hollywood, I'm going to do this, the Hollywood sign, right? Let's say you have a client that wants to live near the Hollywood sign. You know what I mean? Not asking questions. So, they want to live where they want to live. So what we can do here is when we click that and we choose our map and we choose satellite, that brings us to the Google map or the Google Earth, which is pretty sweet. So now it brought us to a Hollywood sign. Now, as we zoom out, it'll start to overlay the neighborhoods that are around the Hollywood sign. See, so now we've started to get IDX. We've started to see the neighborhoods pop up. We started to see the homes for sale that are around the Hollywood sign. Now, let's say we want to go to Central Park, New York City. Let's just travel there, see what happens. Brings us smack dab in the middle of Central Park with Google Earth. We're going to back out, zoom out a little bit. And the further we zoom out away from the park, then we start to see neighborhoods within New York City, and we start to see IDX and homes for sale that are around Central Park. And you can do this even on a very granular, a more local level. Like if I wanted to type in Montclair High School, which is in Montclair, New Jersey, where I'm originally from. Let's say I have a client who is interested in living near Montclair, New Jersey, which we normally do in that area. There's Montclair High School, and they want to live near the school. we back up and we start to see IDX overlaying the Google Maps. So this is a great feature for clients who want to search for a specific landmark and see what homes are around that specific landmark. So personalizing the search, guys, with lots of cool features that other search platforms do not have. And this is the address for Montclair High School too. So not only can you look up the actual landmark, but it does give you the address of the landmark that you're looking up. All right, hope that added some value. We'll see you in the next lecture.
Any comments from anybody on how the searches work? That's pretty cool that you can like do that. You could do it from like a train station or a bus stop or, you know, any kind of landmark. No comments, guys?
So is he saying that Zillow can't do that?
Zillow cannot, right, search from a landmark. Right, it can't.
It can't search
Correct.
for a landmark, but it can certainly search for Starbucks, no? Or no?
You know what? I never tried.
Because
I
that's
don't know
it's
that.
like a store. Like if you say the Hollywood sign, I'm not surprised. Although,
Yeah, you know what? I don't know.
I guess can they not? Maybe they can't search something like Montclair High School. That would be.
Yeah, I know you could put in Montclair, New
Some
Jersey.
client might search a church or a synagogue or temple. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
and what's kind of cool is that you can put in, like he said, like 3 destinations. Let's say it's your office, the school your kids go to, and the local Starbucks. Whatever house you look at, it'll tell you how far it is from the house that you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
So for people that take the train and want to walk perhaps, or they don't want to live too far from the kids' school, you know,
I
it's a
think to
good
clarify,
feature.
and this is the search function on our websites.
And also in the app too. Yeah.
And in the app. Cool.
So if they sign into the app, right, it's also the same information that's on the website. So right now for us, it's easier to look at everything on the dashboard on the computer. We don't have that app to see all that information yet, but it should be coming soon, but we don't have it yet.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
say that again. What?
So if you want to see the houses they're looking at, they can search through the app, but the only way you can see what they're doing is if you're on your desktop or your laptop.
Oh, I see. I get you. It's not like
Yeah.
it just doesn't send you so-and-so looked at 123 Main Street. Gotcha.
Right. So whatever account they have, let's say they, sign into Peter Garuba's website, that's the same login information that goes into the app. So if they're walking around, they could either do it from their desktop or from their app. That make sense?
Yep.
Okay. I'm glad that you're paying attention because you don't have your camera on, so that's good to know.
I know. You know what? I was having a late lunch. I didn't want to be eating and watching. So.
Yeah, no, I hear you. All right, we'll go through one more section and then we'll call it a day for today. And then we'll finish up next week, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Peter, thank you for giving some life to this group.
Hey, everyone. Okay, so the follow-up. I know you guys are super good at that. I'm just kidding. That's one of the biggest pain points for agents is the follow-up. Like what to say, how soon to follow up, how often to follow up. It's hard, right? Like we have to know so much about where that lead's coming from, who that lead is, because every lead source, whether it's Facebook, whether it's someone we closed a home with, whether it's friend or family, every one of those people needs to be followed up with, and it's all a different cadence, right? And you have to all of a sudden know how to write that cadence out with texting, email, phone calls, tasks, right? Like what is the proper cadence for a smart plan or a follow-up plan? How often, all that stuff. So let's just dive right in. I want to show you how you can easily do that, create your own smart plans, and what you need to know. All right, so let's jump right on in here. Okay, so Here we go. Smart plans make the follow-up a heck of a lot easier for you guys. I'm not going to waste too much time on this slide because I'm going to jump into Command in a second. But Command offers you a lot of things. Monthly neighborhood nurtures, happy birthday, quarterly call plan, all that good stuff. Easily, smart plans that are easily able to be added to any contact you like. And creating custom smart plans is very simple as well. Very simple to do. It doesn't take a lot of legwork. It's kind of choosing what you want to add. An email, a text, a delay, et cetera, et cetera. Also, some great ideas for follow-up plans could be, sending people homes in certain school districts or sending people homes near certain landmarks. Like I showed you in the last lecture, when you search on the website for a landmark on Google Maps, you can send people homes near that landmark if you know that's where they want to live. Send people homes near their place of work, right? When they calculate a distance, they can see what's convenient, so send them homes in that vicinity. Homes near great restaurants. With our Yelp integration, if someone likes a great restaurant, you can send them homes near that. Homes in a specific neighborhood, homes that are recently reduced, because on our website, we can look for homes that have been reduced in the last 7 days, and you can send people lists of homes that have recently been reduced so they can hopefully get a great deal on their dream home. So I just want to dive in to smart plans first of all. Okay, so here's a smart plan, and I'll add this smart plan to this lecture as well, so you guys can have it. It's my Facebook follow-up smart plan, and it talks about schools and neighborhoods and so on and so forth. It's 10 days, 16 steps, and 9 touches, and everything is everything is customized. I've got the contact name customized. I've got the contact first name. Actually, you know what? I think I was showing this to somebody and this is incorrect. So I'm going to show you how to change this. So this should say hi contact first name, and obviously it'll say the person's first name like John, but this one, should be the agent first name. So I'm going to throw this in here. It is agent first name. There you go. With team name. So when you deploy this on a Facebook lead, it'll say, hi, Sally, it's Nick with Nick Baldwin and Associates, right? And so then after that text goes out, an email goes out at the same exact time, okay? So what I've done here is, because they are Facebook leads, I end my text with, is this the best place to send more listings, or is emailing them to contact email better, right? I send this email out at the same time as the text message, and it says, or is texting them to contact phone number better? So what I'm doing here is I'm essentially confirming their contact information, right? From 2 different channels of communication. Then we've got a delay. Then we've got another text, another delay, another text. Anyway, I'm just showing you guys what can be done and the cadence in which it is done. So then as I get further on the seventh step, then I'm waiting 2 days. So I'm slowing down with my touches as the smart plan goes on until they reply, right? And then 2 days later, they'll get another text asking what their must-haves are. Then it's another 1 day. Then they'll get another text. And this is showing them, an article about what they should look for in an agent, right? So what I'm doing here is, hey, again, John, not sure if you selected who will have the honor of being your agent, but I saw this article on things you should look for in an agent, thought I would share. Here's the link. And so the idea behind this, because it's a Facebook lead, and Facebook leads are way further out in the pipeline, this is kind of unselling them on me, right? So like, let me put it into perspective for you. If you have been, if you've ever shown a house, to a buyer, and you honestly thought that house wasn't the right house for them, you would say, I don't think this is the right house for you. This is essentially what I'm doing with this article. I'm sending them an article that has the 5 things they should look for in an agent. So whether or not they pick me, they know what to look for. And there's more of a chance that they would pick me because I'm sending them that, right? I'm unselling them. Waiting another 2 days. And then I'm asking them if they are pre-approved and if they want some of the houses they've looked at may qualify for $1,000 back at closing. That's a Keller Mortgage text. Huge response on that Keller Mortgage text. Wait another day. And then I'm sending them homes in a school district. And I've taken that from my website and I put it into a link there in a text message. Waiting another day. Then I'm sending them information on a neighborhood. So I'm taking that from my website, right? So as you can see what I'm doing here, I'm showing them the value of me as an agent, and I'm showing them the value of our sites and apps so they can see that we have school information, that we have neighborhood information. So it's going a lot deeper, right? Now, a lot of this seems probably overwhelming for you guys. Now, rolling out really soon is the new Smart Plan Library. And so what you're going to see here is when you get this in command, which is going to be very soon, and if this is already out by the time you're taking this, then great. The way this works is at the very top of your Smart Plan Library, you're going to see all the Keller Williams smart plans: biweekly neighborhood nurture, quarterly call plan, birthday, et cetera, et cetera. But the cool part here is you're going to be able to upload smart plans that are working for you and also download smart plans from other agents that are uploading smart plans that are working for them. So let's say I need a Facebook smart plan. I would go up here and type in Facebook, and what'll happen is when I type in Facebook, it'll bring me all the smart plans that have been uploaded into the library from other agents that have Facebook in the title. Okay. Or I can also do this. I'll also be able to filter. I'll also be able to filter accordingly. So I can filter it like as if I'm filtering my contacts, or filter as if I'm, filtering, homes for sale. Let me refresh this. So it's a very similar filter to a lot of other filters that you would do. Like I said, looking for homes, or, filtering through your contacts and trying to find, tags and so on and so forth. So when I click this filter button, what happens over here is this pops up, and I'll be able to look for smart plans of a certain duration. I'll be able to type in an author. I'll be able to look for smart plans that have up to 50 touches. I'll be able to look for smart plans that have been downloaded up to 2,000 or more times. And I'll be able to look for smart plans with a rating. So let's say you wanted to come in here and look for Nick Baldwin smart plans, right? And then I'll choose him as an author. And then I'll filter those results. And in a few moments, all the smart plans that I wrote will pop up. Okay, so let's try that one more time. So this is still in beta, right? So let's try Nick Baldwin. There we go. And filter. Oh, there we go. It worked. So I've got the neighborhood smart plan, and you would add that to your smart plan library. And I've got my 8x8, which is for older leads, and you would add that if you want to keep it. So that's launching very soon. So you're going to be able to use smart plans from other agents that are uploading it. So you don't have to think too much about it. So you can now know how to follow up and look for the right follow-up cadence for the lead that you are trying to convert. Now, I want to show you guys something that's about a 28 to 30 touch smart plan. Okay, so let's go into the library. And every single person in your database needs to be on these 4 smart plans. You ready? Write this down. A monthly neighborhood nurture, that's 12 touches once a month. Happy birthday, that's another 4 touches. Okay. Quarterly call plan, that's another 4 touches. 1 touch every 90 days. And then home anniversary. It's another 2 touches. So you got 12 for the monthly neighborhood nurture. You got 4 for the quarterly call plan. You got 4 for the birthday. And you got 2 for the home anniversary. That's around 30 touches a year for each contact. Works like a charm. It's incredible. Definitely utilize that. All right, hope that helps with your follow-up. We'll see you at the next lecture.
Okay, so we're going to end here for today. Is there anybody have any questions about what we went over? Christine does, I see. Okay. Let me stop my screen share, actually, so I don't drive you guys crazy. Yeah, I don't think I could stop my screen share. Okay. Christine, you had a question? You're good? Okay. Anybody else? If not, we'll see you here next week on Thursday again, and we'll complete Nick's class. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm glad that you were on. And Nick is very inspiring, and you know, he gets you to want to do more. Okay? All right. See you guys next week. Thanks, guys.